Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pastor Isaac, and we're going to be sharing with you the third phrase that Jesus spoke from the cross that he hung on for 3 hours on Good Friday, the cross that he hung on for me, the cross he hung on for you, so that we could receive forgiveness, that we could receive shalom, that we could receive complete wholeness. Jesus did that for all of us, and he also spoke a sermon from the cross. He spoke 7 different sermons that were so powerful and meaningful, and these words, these phrases carry, I believe, so much weight for us as followers of Jesus. And right now, I'm just going to share with you the third phrase that Jesus spoke from the cross. I'm going to be reading out of John chapter 19 and verse 25. And it says, "Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene." So he had 4 women there, and then verse 26, "And then Jesus therefore saw his mom and the disciple whom he loved standing by." Who is the disciple whom Jesus loved? It was John. It was John the apostle. And he was the only one of the disciples that was actually at the foot of the cross with Jesus. The only one that made it there. Peter and Thomas and Philip and Bartholomew, all of them, they strayed away. They were embarrassed, ashamed of Jesus. They were having this conflict within them. But John was the only one who was faithful and loyal to be at the cross with Jesus. And because of John's faithfulness, Jesus gave him one of the most important tasks, specifically for him, because Jesus looked at his mother, and Jesus knew that he wasn't going to be with his mom for much longer, that he was going to be dying on the cross, that he was going to rise again on the 3rd day, as we know, but he was only going to be around for just a few more days, and his mother needed somebody to take care of her. And so this is what Jesus said from the cross. He said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." And then he said to the disciple John, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, that disciple John took Mary, Jesus' mother, into his own home and took care of her. Jesus is so amazing that even while he is suffering on the cross in excruciating pain, a pain that very few people would ever experience in their entire life, and yet he's still thinking about his family. He's still thinking about his mom. He's still thinking about taking care of other people. And how is he able to do that in the midst of such pain? I would be thinking about the pain that I'm in. I would be thinking about the agony. I would be thinking about me. And yet Jesus, even at his darkest, most painful moment, he's still thinking about other people. How could I love my mom? How could I serve this person? How could I take care of my mom after I'm gone? How is he able to do that? And I think it just goes back to kind of the foundation of how Jesus was able to walk and live with the character that he did, is because he knew he was already loved and accepted so much by his Father. He knew that his Father was pleased with him. He knew that he was loved. He got so much from his Father, he didn't need anything from anybody else. And that is why he was able to give so much of himself to other people without wanting anything in return. Jesus was the ultimate example of loving with no agenda. Because the truth is, there's nothing that we have that Jesus really needs. He's completely self-sufficient within himself. And yet, even though he doesn't need anything from us, he gave us everything that he has. And I know that we could probably never live on that level. But I think in our daily life, we need to be able to grab hold of that aspect of Jesus' character. That even when we're going through our personal struggles and our personal problems, we should never neglect the people that God has put in our life, that we have a job and obligation to serve others. Jesus said it so perfectly. The Son of Man did not come to be served, but he came to serve. And he not only spoke this, but he showed this. He showed this even at the Passover meal as he was washing his disciples' feet. The place that these men were going to betray him. Judas, he washed his feet knowing that Judas was going to hurt him and betray him. And yet Jesus was still serving his enemies. He was still serving others. And I pray that this Holy Week and every week, we could learn to serve with no agenda and to serve others the way Jesus has served us so well. God bless you. Love you all. Have a wonderful Wednesday.